Hello, I'm John. You may know me as the presenter of Rosie and Jim in the 1990s. I was also the creator and founder of that show. I'm also widely known as the creator of Postman and a variety of characters from that TV show. This is a little look into the journey of my life and what I've been getting up to since I've been a retired author and novelist. So please, I do welcome you to my home, and I hope you enjoy the show. Well, I'm John Cunliffe. I'm the creator of Postman and a few other characters and a few books and television as well. I said to them, what do I think of Postman? Because I thought of the countryside and the farmers, and they looked at my farmers' stories and they hadn't wanted to use those. And so who else lives in the countryside besides a farmer? And the postman he gets around and he travels around, and so he meets a lot of people. And so it wouldn't be static, it'd be all that movement and friendly character. And they said, sounds quite likely, the Alton Kendall's on it. Okay, you'll go back to Kendall and write an outline for 13 episodes for preschool children. And that's all they told me. There was no limitation, specification that I had. So in the countryside for preschool children. So I did.
It is smart, isn't it? Royal crown and all.
Back before I was actually writing Pat, I was a mobile librarian in Northumberland, and so a bit of that fed into Pat, and the writing, and for the sort of characters that I was developing at the time. I do think that perhaps Pat is probably the most widely acceptable and most widely entertaining character in British history. A lot of people could argue that spot could be held by people like Michael Caine or Gregory Peck, but I firmly believe that it is truly Pat and his pack of friends and characters that he was surrounded by.
Time to be getting a move on, said Pat.
So this is the spare room, and this is where guests and visitors might stay. Perhaps if someone stays over for Christmas, or maybe even if we've got visitors from the south, might come up from Kent to visit our lovely home in Kendal. So quite minimalist. Going for a sort of interesting decor. This was all Sylvia's idea, my wife, Sylvia. It's a lovely set of drawers here. Got oh, what's this? It's one of Sylvia's masks. She must have bought that at the ball. I believe that might have been. I might have been 1978, but I could be wrong. It might be 1977. But it's a lovely piece of kit. Her daughter from her previous marriage, they're responsible for this and the bed sheets. I don't really get involved with the house decor. I tend to stay more engrossed in my books and my reading. This is the room that Sylvia sleeps in. I'm just feeling a bit poorly, so shut that. It's none of your business. Well, this is mine and Sylvia's room. This is where we sleep. But no looking. Very secretive about it. But every man's entitled to his secrets, and every woman's entitled. Let's not get it mixed up on the sexes. It's got nothing to do with that. And this is the best room in the house. And this is my room. Now, as you can see, I've got a large collection of cards. I've got all the different. Well, this is one of my favourites. Yorkshire tea. That's actually quite a new model. We've got Snickers, and we've also got the sketch, but I don't believe it's anything to do with chocolate or any of the other culinary delights. I think it mainly speaks for itself. I do keep most of them in their boxes, mint condition generally speaking. But yes, I've been collecting these for many years. There's a lot of interesting cars here, probably some that you can't even buy anymore. A lot of these probably aren't even being manufactured anymore. There's a lot of these being manufactured down in the Midlands. Quite a few in Birmingham. But particularly to the west of the city, in the Black Country, and also, of course, in Nottinghamshire. And as you probably well know, Nottingham's famous for designing the rally bike. So Nottingham's also designed a lot of cars. And my gran was from Kimberley, which is in Nottinghamshire. So it was very great to go down there when I was younger and also get a good look at the rally bikes that might have been in the museum. Sometimes it's just nice to come in here and just relax. There isn't a chair, so I can't sit down, but if I just prop up against here, I think this suffices for a good few minutes so I can have a breather away from a married life. Well, before when I mentioned previously that I was a mobile librarian. I was also a teacher for a period, and that's what led me into becoming a full-time writer and novelist. My first book, Farmer Barnes Buys a Pig, was published in 1964, and it sort of went from there. To be honest, developed a lot of collections of short stories and poetry for young children. I always aimed it at preschool children. I always aimed at preschool children, because I think you're right about what you know, and I think in a way you idealise the great deal of fun you had when you were growing up, and perhaps you hold on to that when you get a little bit older, and perhaps even into my age. Yes. Well, some of my favourite writers, because I think it's important to have an appreciation for the greats. I do like Oscar Wilde. I'm a big fan of Wilde's work. Dickens as well, of course. A Christmas Carol, great piece of work, great piece of literature. I do think it is one of the best books ever written, but my favourite are the Bigelow's books that were published over a series of decades. And perhaps you've read them yourself, but I do think that they've got a great deal of them. And they're probably the first adventure books that were ever published. And I was lucky enough to be born at a time when they were first being published. So I think that's quite interesting. So they do hold a very special place in my heart.
I'd best be on my way. Cheerio.
I thought we were going to walk today. Thought we could go down the canal towards the town. But first, I need to plan the journey ahead. And to do this, I need my 2 blue pens and this. And to put this barrel lid on my drawing to show the winners. And now I'm on my way. Peace with myself when I come down to the canal. I'm blessed with there being one just about a half mile from my house in the estate that I live in. That's the beauty of those inner city estates. It's local, everything's local. You can walk into the city centre, you can have a nice walk down the canal, which I do quite frequently, probably twice a week. Sylvia doesn't tend to join me. She can't walk very far, I'll admit. I do hold a little bit to present as a result, but I'm not going to let it get in the way of our marriage. It just reminds me of a time when I think things were a lot easier. A lot of people say that retirement is probably the easiest time of your life and when you can relax a little. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of expectations. Someone's got their engine on, probably trying to restore power. I remember a couple of times that happened when I was on the boat. You have this generator, and you have to stock it up with all of this electricity, or gas. You'd have two generators, and you'd have to stock it up, and you take it to the gas man and he'd sort him out. Or lady, if there was a lady clerk working there. It's not entirely strictly to one sex. This makes me feel quite sick. Forks out. Right, I don't know what it means, but I'll tell you something. Somebody has taken the time out to put up this sign for this lovely restaurant here. I don't know what it is about the youth today. I wouldn't say they're preschool children, perhaps 15 to 18 years old, or perhaps even older. Who knows? I have to tell you something. I don't like it, and it's disrupting law and order, it's upsetting the establishment, and it's making people, elderly like myself, and pensioners feeling a little bit uncomfortable and not safe in their own skin. This is something I'm very familiar with. It's the lock. So what this does is, when you think of canal, think of a stream of water. And it's true, it is a stream of water. But in some circumstances, the water is not level. So you need the lock to provide this gateway in order for your boat to go from one surface up to another. It's a bit like climbing stairs. Very much like climbing stairs, actually. So what you do is, you have what we call the key, basically just a huge crank. You slot it in here, and you crank, until the water, and this opens, and the boat will come up, and the water goes up, and up, and up. That's a nice boat. A bit too small for me though. I wonder if it's the right size for duck. It's a lovely day. I tell you what, it does feel a little bit like the rain might have ruined everything. But at the end of the tunnel there's always the light. So I'm confident that perhaps at the end of the day...
Oh, how you doing?
Hello.
Steal any more characters, are you, John?
No, I don't steal characters.
This man here, he steals characters from Scotland.
I don't steal characters. All of my characters are original conceptions made up by myself from when I was a mobile librarian in Northumberland, as I previously stated. We don't need to listen to low-level nothings like himself, so let's just get on and continue with our day. He's a neighbour of mine, not my immediate neighbour, but he lives a couple of blocks down. I don't know what his problem is. He's got ever such a big problem. I think what he might be referring to when he calls me a thief. He's read an article in the Daily Records that suggests that I stole the idea of the conception of Pat from an existing postman named Pat, from Arisaig, a village in Scotland. And of course, this postman named Pat supposedly owned a black and white cat. So there's a lot of people, there's a bit of an outrage up in Scotland, and of course in Arisaig. And I find it a bit silly that the only Scottish national that I know just so happens to be a hostile one, and happens to know as well about this fabricated story. I don't know where he's got this idea from. I mean, you shouldn't believe everything you read in the newspapers, you know. No, never. No, I haven't, and I'll be honest, I have no intention to. I've got nothing against the Scottish people. I've got nothing against Scotland as a country. I'm sure the Highlands are some of the most beautiful places and scenery that you'll find in the world. I will be honest, you're probably much better off going to Switzerland or something, the Swiss Alps, and probably get a better deal there than going to the Scottish Highlands. But no, to answer your question, no, I haven't been to Scotland. pantry. I keep all the dried goods. Lots of other sweets for when the nephew and nieces come over. Sylvia's family, of course. I've got Nick's grill, sliced carrot, chopped tomatoes, mushed peas, stewed steak and gravy. A lot of things that you need mainly for your lunch or your dinner or your tea. Freezer units, of course. What's this? Liver and bacon with mashed potato. I don't like liver, bacon and mashed potato. How did that get into my shopping? I don't even eat liver or bacon. Fruit loaf? I don't eat fruit loaf. Got some turkey breast and some vegetables. I think it's good to have a healthy diet and eat a lot of vegetables. Now, I don't actually eat turkey or pork or steak, and because I'm vegetarian, but Sylvia is a stout carnivore, so I like to make sure we've got these stocked up to keep her happy. Oh, what's this? Oh, a bone plank. I was really fond of this plank, you know. Get some bits under the water. I have to get a screwdriver or something to sort that out. Job for another day. As I am a full-time writer, children's writer and novelist, I figured it would be appropriate for me to do a reading from one of my publications for all the young children that are going to be watching this show today. Enjoy. This one is Rosie and Jim, the Water Wizard. From my book, Rosie and Jim, the Water Wizard. That's Rosie and Jim and Rainbow, along with the show stories. Rosie and Jim, the Water Wizard. Some beautiful illustrations by Roger M. Salieri. Some beautiful pictures, Rosie and Jim are two rag dolls. They live on the canal boat, the good boat Rag Doll. They travel along, looking to see what they can see. John steers the boat. When they find something interesting, John makes a story about it. Jim draws the pictures in his drawing book, and Rosie collects things in her collecting bag. What do you think they will find today? We're going up a hill, said Jim. A hill, said Rosie. What a noggin. How can you go up a hill of water? Water's flat stuff. That's what John said Jim. I heard him. He said we had to go through a lock. He's a fizzpot, said Rosie. He'll never do it. The boat's too big to push through up a hill. Let's go and see, said Jim. And so they did. The Rag Doll was going along the canal. Rosie and Jim saw some ducks. They saw a bridge. They saw a tall chimney. They saw a hill. That's it, said Jim. That's what, said Rosie. The hill, said Jim. We're going to go up there, said Rosie. Yes, said Jim. I think so. And he was right. There are some gates, said Rosie, and they're shut. We'll have to go back. No hill for us. Hang on, said Jim. I think that's the lock that John was talking about. He's opening the gates. Look! What a gobbin, said Rosie. He must think he's a giant if he can lift up that hill. But John opened the gates. There's some more water on the other side, said Jim. And more gates, said Rosie. John steered the boat between the gates. It went into a narrow place. There was a high wall of bricks on both sides, and it was all wet and dripply and splashy, said Jim. "Now we're stuck," said Rosie. "He's shutting the gates behind us. We'll never get out now." "Now, don't you remember what John said about locks?" said Jim. "John opens the first gate and the boat goes into the lock. He closes the gate and then lets water into the lock. And the lock fills up with water and goes up the boat. John then opens the second gate and out they go, higher up." "He's letting more water in," said Rosie. Water was gushing and whooshing in. It gurgled and wurgled all around the boat. "The boat's having a bath," said Jim. "And the bath's getting full," said Rosie. "We're going up." They were. "I can see the walls," said Jim. "I can see over the next gate," said Rosie. "Look at Fizzleface," said Rosie. "He's opening the next gate," said Jim. "I'm flabbergasted," said Rosie. "And we're off again," said Jim. "And we're higher up," said Rosie. "He's done it. He's lifted us up that hill." Rosie and Jim and the boat and the sink and the toilet and the books and the toys and everything. "It's time for John to write it down now," said Rosie. And indeed it was. I thought today that'd be quite nice to go and soak up a bit of the local culture. Go to the library, which is a staple in my week. I might also grab a tea or a coffee. I'm feeling a little bit adventurous, or even thirsty perhaps. Anyway, we must be on our way. Seems like it's a windy day today. I'll be on my way. Sometimes it's nice to just come here and wind down, but you got to keep your voice down because we're in the library. Shh. Hospital's the best place to go when you're not feeling well enough to get better at home. I'll tell you what, it is always nice to be back. I tend not to come to the canal as often as I used to. And as I previously stated, of course, it isn't too far from where I live. And these inner city estates make it accessible to places like so, providing the town you live in does have a canal or a river. But it does remind me of that period of my life when I was living on the barge, and perhaps even before that. there was a period when I was living on a barge in real life, and not just as a subsequent add-on for the show. Because some of the stuff makes it makes for no sense. Anyway, so it's bitch.
What are you looking at, Cunliffe, you cunt?
I'm not. Perhaps it's time that you get a life rather than hanging out in inner city areas, just trying to intimidate people like me. But you're good for nothing. Please, come on. I'm saying it to your face. I'm saying it to your face. Go on, bye bye. You thief. Not a thief. English thief. You're going to give it a noun spell. Look at thief in the dictionary. Da 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 da. That's what I say. That's what I think of him. Tell you what, he's really rattled my cage. He's a good for nothing freeloader. He needs a bloody good flush. I think he's gone now. Out of sight. I just need to sit on this bench. Just for a second while I catch my breath. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've had so much exercise since 2002. Oh, my back. I think I'm ready to carry on. Right. Oh, look at those ducks. Did you leave the door open? Someone's left the door open. Someone's left the door. Some books. Taken everything. Oh no. Oh, but they've left my books. What's my tapes? One's there, that one's there. And that one's there. That one's missing. I don't believe it. They've taken one of the tapes. Just to wind me up. I don't believe it. I can't talk to you. I'm too angry. I need to go and sit down and think about what I'm going to do next. Can you read my books? Some of the best written literature in the history of this country. I thought that me and Sylvia could work it out. After the incident and what happened, she doesn't want to talk to me. It's been a few weeks. Must be coming up to 6 now. She said, John, just get out. No discussion, no negotiating, just get out. Alright? And don't get in touch with me. I'm not interested, I don't care about what you have to say. I just want you to leave me in peace. Because frankly, you've caused me a lot of pain and distress for the past several years. And I don't know where all this is coming from. I haven't done a thing. I've just been writing stories, you know. I said to her, don't worry. I've just been sitting in my back room, just writing my stories. And so I have. To tell you what, I'm not in the best place right now. I consider myself a very positive person, but as of late I've been feeling a little bit like that, right there, that. I am living at my sister Rebecca's, and she's very accommodating, that's very true. I can't argue with that. But I think it's become apparent that she doesn't want me there either. It seems like there's no place for me in this world at the moment. I'm 85 years old, and I'm homeless, effectively. I'm sponging off my sister, who is in great shape, she's very fit, you know, just for her age, you know, she's 82, and she exercises, but what can I say? What can I say for that? I think she's been a little bit selfish, to be honest. I don't sponge off people, I don't agree with sponging. I think we should help people, and I believe in education, but I don't think that we should expect the state to sort out your own problems. You need to get off your back and see what you can do about it, and that's what I've been trying to do, but I'm at a loss now. I've run out of options. So it's become apparent to me that, you know, I have no right or no say in a court of law. If I wanted to, you know, fight my way in, I've been very respectful. I've been in touch maybe 7-8 times in the past several weeks since the incident. I figured I've got some notes here of some phone numbers. I figured if I phone the insurance company, I could perhaps regain our repossessed items, then that might give me a chance to maybe reconnect with our Sylvie. Because frankly, I don't know how much longer I can stay with our Rebecca, I'm telling you. I must be driving her up the wall. I'm telling you, she's driving me up the wall the way she's been nagging on at me. Hopefully this will provide us with some answers.
Hello, how can I help?
Hello there. I'm phoning about my insurance claim. My name's John Cunliffe, and my house was recently burgled. And I was hoping I could phone up about my insurance that covers the house and hopefully get some money back.
Very sorry to hear that. Can I just take your account number, please?
I'm sorry?
Can I just take your account number?
Sorry, I might have it written down somewhere. Account number?
Yes, if you're making a claim on your insurance, I need your account number.
Right, I'm just checking my notes. There's nothing of any sort of account here.
Okay, can I just double check your name again, please?
Right, so it's John Cunliffe.
I can't seem to find you on the system.
What do you mean?
When you set up an account with us, you should have been sent an account number on both a letter and by email.
I believe my wife Sylvia sorted all that out when we moved in. No mention of an account. I assumed that as when we bought the house and put the mortgage on, that the insurance would cover the costs for any repossessed item.
No. Before you bought your house, you would have needed to open a new account with us, and only then would you be insured. Fortunately, it doesn't sound like you have an account with us.
No one told me. Right, so where do I need to go to set up this account then?
Well, we can set up an account for you now, but you can't make a claim on the new account yet.
But I need to make the claim in order to get the insurance covered.
But you need to have had a previous account with us in order to make a claim now.
Well, where do we start then?
Well, I can make an account for you now and set you up with a direct debit, but you can't claim for your recent robbery because you didn't have an account with us at the time.
Right. So how long is it going to take?
I'm sorry, sir, you can't make a claim on the recent robbery.
I need to make a claim because my house was recently broken into. I need to get my items back. This is a life or death situation and I don't want to be left in the dark for any longer.
I'm sorry, I can't help you because you need to have a previous account with us. If you have an account number, I can help you. I can set up a new account now, but you couldn't claim on your insurance for a break-in yet anyway, as we have a cooling off period of 6 months.
Say, this is all rubbish. You don't know what you're talking about. Account number, I don't know. That didn't go well, she told me to cool off. Right, so what next? That was very disappointing. I didn't get any of the answers that I was looking for. She told me to calm down. She said that I didn't know what I was talking about and something about an account. Don't hear any of it. I'm not in the mood. I'll turn the camera off. Stop filming. I don't want to hear, I don't know what's next. I'll tell you something, I'm a bit sick of having you around, that's for sure. Perhaps it's not a good idea that you're accompanying me anymore on this journey of mine, because frankly it seems to me that my journey has come to a bitter end. I don't know what to do. Left me. I've tried to get in contact with her. She won't pick up the telephone. My sister calls me an oaf. I'll tell you what, I can't be as bad as these people. Just drinking on the barge, spending all day, fueling their alcoholic rage. I'll tell you something, I won't let that happen to me. No way. Absolutely not. At least I've got the logs for a nice warm fire. Look, I'll say it again. I don't know what I'm going to do, but hold on a second. The boat! The boat! book! The answer's right in front of my eyes. Let's get a closer look. Oh my god, you must think I'm crazy. What are you waiting for? There's no time to lose. Tuesday. Closed all day. Oh, for goodness sake. The one day when I just come over. No, look on the bright side. One more night at Rebecca's, and then I'll be on my way.